So we're empowering ourselves. So being strong, standing up for ourselves, speaking out, doing that thing, taking action on something. So reciprocation, what we're talking about here, we're talking about you knowing yourself and being in integrity with yourself, and then bringing those towards you with that similar kind of an energy. Feels like soul groups coming together. Well, think of a yes or no answer question now. Your answer is? Hello, I'm Claire Louise Hay from BeHealing.com, and this is today's tarot for all signs for Monday, the 6th of May, 2024. I hope you're doing well. I have a live show 3 times a week here on YouTube. It's called Psychic Cafe. In there, I give one question readings amongst other things. You can book in for one of those one question readings on my website, BeHealing.com, at any time. Find a link for that in the description box below and also up there too. I do the pre-book readings right at the start of the next live show, and then the readings that are booked while I'm live, I'll do straight away. So you don't need to be able to make it live to get one of those. What's in the energies for everybody today? We have empowerment, so we're empowering ourselves. So being strong, standing up for ourselves, speaking out, doing that thing, taking action on something, that kind of thing. I also offer private readings from my website, BeHealing.com. You can find a link for that in the description box below and also up there too. And I get those out within 48 hours of you ordering them. Magic Maker and Unconditional Love. Nice. Opening your heart up and doing things for people. It's going to create some magic in your life. Not forgetting to unconditionally love ourselves. So we're not a doormat. We don't give to the wrong kind of people where we're going to end up getting hurt over again, as we have done. We've learned that lesson, right? We've learned that lesson? Yes. We've got stillness as well. In calm waters, everything becomes clear. So if you're unsure about something, meditate. If you don't have time to meditate even more. Things become clear and you can get creative as well in that space. So there's 2 ways in which to win a private reading with me every single month, worth 160 Australian dollars. 2 draws for that. The first draw is for those of you that are subscribers to my channel, clicking like on this or any other video and then leaving a comment. That'll get you 1 entry in. Do that as many times as you can throughout the month, including my shorts, as well as my longs. Second draw is for those of you checking out my pick a card reads. If you purchase the deeper dives, those extended readings to those pick a card reads, that'll get you entered into the second draw. Do that as many times as you like. No matter when the pick a card reader was put out, is when you purchase in that month. That makes a difference. So check out my back catalogue. What else have we got here? Okay, so starting out with the Hermit. The Hermit is very much an inner journey. It's about you knowing who you are, being yourself, being true to yourself, integrity, right? Great way to be. The Hierophant is about spiritual lessons learned. Something about the long term as well here. Excuse me, with the Hierophant there. Our long-term wishes, it will come about. It might take some time to come about. The world, changing times in the whole world. Now, I was getting that from the Hierophant too. I should have thought ahead. The Hierophant, not only changing times for us, but changing times in the evolution of the human species. We're always growing, learning, and it's getting better. However, you might have noticed in your own life, things get better by things getting worse, or a certain aspect of who we are, what we do, society gets worse, and then we notice, oh, this isn't that good. But it takes ages for us to like figure that out and then get to the point of like, this really isn't good, but now we need to do something about it. Because inherently we're lazy and we don't do stuff about it. And you know, the whole structures that we have in society make it even more difficult to do something about it because of those structures. It makes everything slow and there's red tape. Anyway, the long term, things will get better. Some things that we want, the change that we want is about not just us changing and becoming who we need to be for the world that we want to live in, and the change is evolutionary coming around, but kind of instigating those changes and then having to wait for it to happen. Then we've got the Wheel of Fortune and the Queen of Wands. Cool. So Queen of Wands is about you taking action. So remember that empowerment thing? Us taking action, being clear in ourselves, integrity, knowing in ourselves, knowing what it is that we want in the world, taking action toward that, even if the circumstances around us haven't yet changed, in order for that to come to fruition, still playing our part. In this way, we manifest the changes that we want to see in the world. We be that change first, right? In ourselves. And it sets the ball rolling. So you're taking action. The Wheel of Fortune is when the cogs of the universe get into motion too. It's always the way. We are the creator spirits in our lives, right? So the universe doesn't instigate things, we do. And instigating things isn't about wishing for them and then the universe taking action. It's not about that. It's about more, less wishing and more goal setting. We set a goal. I want to see this change in my life. I want to see this change in myself. I want to see this change in the world. And then taking action toward that. Like, what are the first 3 steps that you can take toward that? What is it that you can do today to make that change within yourself? That's our power. And as soon as we do that, it gets the ball rolling. It gets this universal wheels in motion to go. You know, the universe goes, oh, Claire's doing this. She's instigated this, taking action on it. She's serious about it this time. Okay, well, let's join her in that. And then all of these spirits, all of the guides that are in on that and go, oh, I'm interested in that. That's what they all say. Then they get on board and you end up having heaps more guides backing you up. And then your life seems to flow even more. Have you ever wondered why? It's because you start taking action on something and the guides go, oh, Claire's doing this. Let's all get on board with that. The Hermit. But it starts out with your integrity, with your inner work and you knowing who you are. That is something that we come to alone, spending time alone, being a hermit. Religions know this. It's why there's monks. It's why there's often this retreat process within every religion. If you're doing it spirituality rather than religion, doing it by ourselves, we know. We go into retreat mode, right? We take a break and we get clarity on ourselves. The 6 of Materials is the reciprocation as well. So reciprocation, what we're talking about here, we're talking about you knowing yourself and being in integrity with yourself and then bringing those towards you with that similar kind of an energy. Feels like soul groups coming together, not just the guides, not just the spirits joining you and everything seems to flow because you've got a whole load of other beings with similar intentions to you, helping you along, making those wheels move. But also 3D world, human beings with similar vibes coming towards you, your tribe. Ascension, raising the vibe, raising the vibe. Nice. And the Hierophant is the spiritual lessons that lead to long-term change. Always got to start within, always, always. The Lovers came out with that, right? So we are talking a long-term thing. Muse of Materials, someone that's really stable in that. Okay, so what I'm getting from this is those of you that are single, those of you that have been learning who you are because you've had a break from relationships, hands up, that's me, 4 years now. And it's been one of the best times in my life because I really do know myself much better now and I won't be rushing into a relationship, not just for anything, very sure and clear on what it is that I want in relationship now. So we're talking about relationships because of Lovers. Muse of Materials is someone else that's reached that stability too. So this is somebody else who has also spent that time working on themselves, getting clear on themselves and in integrity with themselves. Very hard to do when you're just, you know, on that treadmill of life, working, paying the bills, in and out of relationships. Hard to get clarity without that hermit kind of an energy. So change is behind that. We've got change coming in relationships. Didn't feel like it's imminent to me, though. Although empowerment could have you making changes, not necessarily in love life, but making changes, taking action toward the goals that you want, the change that you want in the world, in your life. And that could be leading you to somebody. Now, the world. What about these changes through materials, people, your tribe, your people? Dreaming the same dream. Now, big message here to empower yourself. What are your goals in life? What are the changes that you want to see in the world? Be that. sometimes we can get a bit selfish and we can think, okay, I've got to look after myself more. The guys have been teaching me how to do that. And so I need to go about getting abundance, say, for myself. And that when we think of it from that perspective, personally, when I think of it from that perspective, things stop working for me. But when I'm thinking of it from the perspective of like, okay, I've got this gift, and I've got many gifts, in fact, and I'm way willing to use them, however my guides want me to use them. So how can I best serve with my gift? Who can I help? When I look at it from that perspective, and I try and expand from that perspective, then the abundance happens. So perhaps the changes that you want are through, remember, unconditional love and the magic that comes from that. Working with the universe and your guides of how you can be a bigger change in the world and play your part, and communing not only with your tribe that also want similar objectives, but also with guides that want that too. There's unlimited possibilities. So whatever you want, there's no right or wrong in this. Like what I want, I'm all about health and fitness and emotional health and fitness, just all round health and fitness, and living our best lives, healthily. That's me. Doesn't have to be you. You could be all about something else. And that's cool. You'll find your people, I'll find mine. And people don't have to be on the exact same page. So we might have like 3 projects going on, 3 things that interest us. And that's our particular mix. And you might have 3 groups of people that are aligned with you. So, Queen of Wands in the wheel, just take action because the universe is going to back you up in that. Time to take action. Think of the first 3 steps that you could take. Start taking them. And it doesn't have to lead you there. That's the thing. It's like you don't need to know all the steps, and you might think, well, I'm just a drop in the ocean. But the ocean's going to get involved once you drop into the ocean, once you take that action. Trust me, it does. I've talked on this a little bit recently in the dailies. Things like, if you've got debt, you start paying off your debt. You start, you think of a percentage of the money that comes in and you pay that off first, and then the universe gets involved and helps you pay off that debt. You start getting more money in. But you've got to be the one that instigates that. If you're waiting around with debt for the universe to pay it off for you, it's not going to happen. So it's that same kind of thing. We've got to take action. And the action, it's for a bigger goal than just for us. It's not a selfish goal, although it's going to help you too, for sure. We're not leaving ourselves out of this. But with more of a mind of unconditional love. At a crossroads right now. So there's a decision to make, of action to take. Are you going to trust your guides? Are you going to trust your intuition, your inner knowing of the changes that you want in the world? Do you know how powerful you are? Do you? Perception and teaching. You might have learned to change your perception, or you might be learning at the moment to change your perception of what life is all about. I mean, my life, it's run as a conversation with the universe, just by nature of my gift, and because my employers are my guides, right? And it's like I do what they say. I just do what they say, and they say, okay, Claire, this is what we're doing now. Or, I just get led down in a new direction, and I just have to do that because it's the only way it works for me. And as I said, as soon as I get selfish, as soon as I put my business hat on and try and take over, the guides go, oh, she's doing that thing again. And then they leave me to it, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work for me, that. And so it's like, okay, sorry guys, forgot about you for a moment. Let's work together again. What about our love lives today? What's going on? What's going on in our love lives, or what might be going on in our love lives? We do have that Lovers and the Hierophant, and the change is going on. It didn't feel imminent to me, but perhaps it is. Tell us about our love lives, guides, please. What might be going on today in our love lives? Your own time, guides. We've got all day. Have you got all day? I've got all the cards. Perhaps there's nothing going on in our love lives today. It's going to be a slow day for romance, obviously. Well, that's not happening. That's the first time. That's the first time that has ever happened that a card hasn't come out. Let's see if a card wants to come out for our love life from this deck. Or is it just going to be a big pile of nothing? Ah, we got a card. What is it going to be? Detoxify. Letting stuff go. Anything else in our love life that we need to know about today? Let go of the toxic stuff. That also means not thinking about the toxic stuff, not thinking of the dysfunctional relationships and the hurt, you know, anymore. Onwards and upwards from here toward healthy relationships. We don't need to keep going on and on and on about the kind of relationships that we don't want and the kind of people that are trying to get into a relationship with us that we don't want. Pay them no attention. If it's not what you want, just don't choose it. Just say no. Detoxify, just say no. Remember? The whole drug thing back in the 80s, just say no. Should have had that for alcohol too. Respect and communication. You might be getting respectful communication coming through from somebody, or you might be pulling someone up on disrespectful communication. The Lovers, again, you're seeing dream come true. I do feel like we're on the path to a much better relationship. Just on the path to it. The Lovers and the dream come true. So it could be a really good time to get focused on that change that you want, like a positive relationship. What would that look like? What would it feel like for you? How would that look? What else in the energies today, please? Okay, starting out with love. All about love and our hearts, unconditional love of ourselves, of the whole planet, of everyone on it, taking them in a new direction. The elephant, a long journey, either physical or mental, will leave you wiser at the end. And we've got mice, discord amongst friends or family, people wanting different stuff, perhaps wanting you to be different and not go for the things that you want in life. We've got a wheel, indecisiveness, allowing your life to rumble aimlessly. Yeah, don't do that. Take the wheel in your life. And bag, something important such as a new job or a raise. And you might be giving yourself a job on the whole planet. Giving yourself a job, it's like, oh, I'm here to bring about this change. I'm going to get to it now. Get to it. So think of a yes or no answer question, because I've got a red and a green crystal in this bag. I'm going to pull one of them out very shortly for our answer. But this is just a bit of fun. It's a general reading. It's not a personal reading. If you want me to pull crystals out of my bag and cards out of my decks for specific questions that you've got in your life, then you can book in for one of my one question readings on my website, behealing.com. Find a link for that in the description box below and also up there too. If you've got many questions or you want lots of detail and you want it private about something that's going on in your life or where you're at right now from your higher self, you can book in for one of my full readings, my private readings. Find a link for that in the description box below and also up there too. So how best to deal with these energies today? We've got the Six of Wands. Six of Wands is about putting yourself out there, being seen to do something now. Some of you have been building up your confidence and your ready to empower yourself and put yourself out there and stand up for what it is, who it is that you are and what it is that you want. And, you know, it might just be about being outspoken about what it is that you want and what you don't want and stuff like that. But it's being seen by other people. So it can be scary. It can make you feel very vulnerable to stand up and do that, to put yourself out there, as I do here. But perhaps you're strong enough now to do that. I think you are. Well, think of a yes or no answer question now. Your answer is? No, it's the ruby. Don't do it. There you go. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to click like before you click off down there. Click that subscribe button if you're new. Leave a comment. That'll get you an entry into that prize draw for a free reading with me at the end of the month. I do one of these today's tarot every single day of the year. I go live 3 times a week in my Psychic Cafe show. Come along sometime. I'd love to see you in there, perhaps read for you too. And I make 3 Love Picker card reads a week as well. You can find one of those right there, right now. Watch that next if you want. Well, have the best day ever. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.